Hello and welcome, this is Oshi and this is the next Harry Potter and the Tarot episode. Thank you so much for everyone who reached out, who left a comment on the previous one, who watched it, who participated in the little exercise at the end. By the time this video goes up, I'll posted my interpretation of the last question, so you can check that out on my Instagram if you want to. And please, if you post something regarding this series somewhere, please let me know, because it's not as easy to find them as I expected it, no matter if we use the hashtag or not. So it's just, it helps me greatly if you could, just drop a comment and tell me that, hey, I posted on Instagram, and leave me your handle or something like that. As per usual, we're using the Smith-Waite Centennial Tarot deck, the teen version. I already shuffled the cards because I didn't want to waste your time with that. I have my notes. We have our little figures, even though with this magical background, which I got from my sister as a gift. She told me to do something magical with it, and I decided that I would use it as a backdrop for the Harry Potter series, because what's more magical than Harry Potter? But it might not be easy to see the little figures right now, so I might need to find something for them to be on, but hey, we're evolving slowly. So to this question, because February is the month of love for some reason, which if you think about it, it's kind of weird because it's cold and whatnot, but one of the questions people always keep asking is why Harry didn't end up with Hermione, why did she fall in love with Ron, and plot-wise and book-wise, I think it makes more sense, because if Hermione and Harry would have fallen in love, that would have made Ron's role in the book obsolete. Because then Hermione would have been everything that Harry needed in a friend and in a lover, and they just, they would have been too strong and powerful together in their friendship, that Ron, who always struggles with, acceptance and self-worth issues, I think he slowly would have drifted away. So, or if he would have stayed friends with them, there would have been obviously a power shift, and just like Peter Pettigrew fall behind, Ron would have fell behind as well. Of course, Peter Pettigrew is a completely different story, but for this exercise, all you need to know, if you haven't read the Harry Potter books or haven't watched the movies, but please read the books. so much better, I promise. That in the end, Hermione and Ron get together and they get married, and Harry falls in love with Ron's little sister and they get married at the end. But there was always the question from the fans that why these two didn't fall in love. So we will check how their relationship would have been. And just for fun, we will check how it would have been if Ron and Harry would have got together, because, I mean, come on, who knows? So I have my notes, I have my little white book for that one, and at the end we're gonna figure out a question and, draw 3 cards from what we use in this episode, and then I post another little exercise or challenge or task or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's start with, I'm gonna put the Ron aside, sorry Ron. Yeah, I will need to find a little background for them to be more visible, but okay. So, as per usual, we're using my trusted little three cards setup, where this is the root of the problem. And sorry, there's a little glare because I had to turn on my light, because it's just, even though it's in the morning, it's just still too dark In the middle position we have the current position, or what you can do, what you can change for things to get better. And in this position we have the possible outcome. So for their relationship, the problem is the World, which is a major arcana. And I'm gonna quickly just open my own notes as well. Sorry if everything is crooked. Whatever, if you have any idea, you know, for decoration and stuff like that, DIY stuff, please let me know. I want to make it more Harry Potter like slowly. So as I said, the word card is the end of the 21 card cycle. I mean, usually people look at the 21 card as 3-7 cycles, and this is the end of it. So it's definitely, you know, the problem with them would have been something that they couldn't close off or something like that. But let's just go with the book first. So the word, you can get the keywords here. It's a short success route, voyage, emigration, flight, change of place. We don't care, I mean, in this position we care about the reverse meaning, because that's what I read in, you know, in this position, and which is, according to this book, is inertia, fixity, stagnation, permanence. So according to this book, if they got together, they would have stuck in their place. They couldn't move forward or evolve, which is a very interesting idea for them. Okay, my notes on the reverse, it means that if you're in the reverse 21, you're in the 12, the hangman position, where you're not at your place. You need to change your perspective to move forward. Something's delaying you, and you're becoming something you don't want to be. And it's very interesting that, because it seems like if they would have gotten together, that their relationship might, you know, it could have been great, but both of them would have got stuck in a stage, and they couldn't find their own place in the world. You know, they couldn't become who they are really, which is very interesting. And I think it in a way it makes sense, but you know, you tell me if you've read the book. So that's their problem, that they would have, you know, they could have been stuck if they got together. What they can do about it is the 7 of Pentacles, which is usually talks about putting in the work. Where is that 7 of Pentacles? I mean, it's just a teeny tiny book, and it's so hard to find stuff in it because it goes in the wrong direction for me. 7 of Pentacles. In this position you can read both, so I'm just gonna hold this up so you can read everything you want to read. I'm gonna just read out the divinatory meanings. These are exceedingly contradictory. What? Contradictory? Why is that so hard? These are exceedingly contradictory. In the main, it is a card of money, business, barter, but one reading gives alteration, quarrel, and other innocence, ingenuity, perjury, purgation. What? Okay, for me it doesn't make really much of sense, the upright meaning. So okay, so I don't know. Does it make any sense to you? I'm quite curious. I never used the this white book for my own studies and readings before, so I'm quite surprised that it doesn't make any sense to me. Sorry about that. But okay, so what what my keyword for this one is hard work and waiting. And if you look at the card, it shows exactly that. And this guy is, creating all the pentacles, and then he needs to wait to see what will become of this. So there's a lot of uncertainty in this relationship for sure. It's not starting from a very good place because they are holding each other back. But if they start, working on things, they can improve. Because we have the Knight of Cups, that's just why I'm saying if there would be something like the Tower here, I would have said that no matter what you do, you're not really gonna reach anything you want to, but we have the Knight of Cups, so that's good. And this is a card of waiting as well, and it can be very hard for those who are like me, impatient. Because, you put in the work and then you have to wait, and everything is out of your control, which can be hard. So, and the Knight of Cups, let's find mine. Knight of Cups. Okay, and then here as well. Okay. The Knight of Cups, you can read it. There's always a description as well, that's what you can see on the card. It's arrival, approach, sometimes that of a messenger. It's interesting because I learned that pages are, messages. They are the messengers, and knights come with an actual offer. It's not just a message. Advances, proposition, demeanor, invitation, incitement. And we don't care about the reverse right now, because in this it's always the upright meaning of the card. Okay, so I already forgot what I read, so hopefully you're making notes. That's always helpful. For me, the Knight of Cups is, he's the romantic. That's the archetype for this card, and he has great, she doesn't matter, capacity for devotion. It can be for a cause or a person, so they can be very devoted to everything and anything. It's a Pisces card, by the way, if anything, if it matters. I don't think, because I don't know their astrological signs. The Knight of Cups acts out emotions, is passionate, usually. Think about a Casanova or a player type of person who will come in and swipe you off your feet, and it's it's a great romance and you fell in love with it, but it doesn't really have merit in, because it's just temporary. Because once things would turn serious, the knight just jumps on its horse and right into the sunset. So if I would say that this is, they would come to me, Hermione and Harry, and ask about their relationship, what I could say that no matter how hard they will try to work on things, the fact that they are holding each other back from reaching their potential will only result in a temporary happiness. So there's no long-term potential in this reading. And I know that I can be that biased, or you think I can't be that biased, because unbiased, because I know and read the books and I know how their relationship works. But to be honest, I'm surprised a bit, because they are compatible, but maybe they are too compatible. How do you say compatible? Yeah. Oh God, words. So that's why they don't push each other to grow that much if they're too similar, and they can't give the necessary room for the other person to grow into. I mean, that's what I would say. It's not necessarily a bad situation. It just means that pretty much you can put a lot of effort into it and it will result in temporary happiness, but long-term potential right now it's not in the cards. But that's just my interpretation, so leave a comment down below. How would you read these three cards? And then let's see how Harry and Ron would have been, you know, together. Okay, in this spread we don't read reversals, so there's no need. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so let me just say that it's much more favorable than the previous one. Sorry, Hermione, sorry. Okay, so the problem, you know, that's causing them to not reach but the potentially the best relationship is the Eight of Swords. I can't remember, I need to make a list of what cards we already covered, so if I'm repeating something, that I'm sorry. I will make a list and then I'm gonna just tell you if I already covered the card or not, so you can, you know, check the other videos or your notes, because like I said, keeping notes is fun and helpful. So the Eight of Swords, in this position we need the reverse meaning. It's disquiet, difficulty, opposition, accident, treachery, the unforeseen, fatality. Treachery, what a word. Okay, my notes on this, if I can find where the swords are. Yeah, so the Eight of Swords is the analyzes, paralyzes, or how do you say that? In the upright already, you know, when you can't move because your own thoughts, your own fears are keeping at place. Because if you look at the figure on the card, you can see that the swords are surrounding it, but only these ropes are holding the person at place. And on most modern decks you can see that the figure is holding the knot or holding a dagger, so they can free themselves much more easily than they think. It's interesting that in this card you cannot see that easily than in more modern decks. And I usually use, when I see this card, I think about anxiety, you know, in general. Even though anxiety is the Nine of Swords as well, but for me that's also as well. So in the reverse position, what I have is release, when you're leaving, you're actually, you know, able to leave that situation that's keeping you inbound. So it's actually a good thing that it's in the reverse position, because in the upright it would be a self-imposed restrictive situation, but in here it means that they can work things through together. So it's not really a problem. It just shows that once they find that once they identify the problem and work through it, it will start moving, and they are already in the solution and releasing and letting go stage of the relationship, which is cool. And you know, since we are talking about two boys, you can just think about how hard it still is these days to come out and say that, yeah, I'm gay, or I'm bi, or I'm whatever, because society everywhere is not accepting yet, which I still, honestly, I don't get. I can't wait to be past with all this stupidness that we humans are doing to each other. But they are coming out of that I would say, coming out here. And the Ace of Pentacles in the current situation, it's just perfect, because the Ace of Pentacles is the long-term potential, and it's a potential for something long-term. It's usually, because it's Pentacles, it's related to finances and a job. If you get this in a job reading, it's very well, an awesome card. But in a romantic reading, it means that what they have has a potential for a long-term relationship, which is always nice to see. But let's not go ahead ourselves and check the Ace of Pentacles. And I can't, I know it would be helpful if I would, you know, just check the cards before I start recording, but I need to not know the cards before I start recording, because then my thoughts start reading them and I might forget to say something on camera. Okay, so this is the description and the meaning. We don't need the reverse right now. It's perfect contentment, felicity, ecstasy, also speedy intelligence, gold. Gold, I mean, that's a huge gold as coin, so obviously. For me, the Ace of Pentacles, which is somewhere here, is abundance. It's the beginning with the potential of something long-term, like I said. It's just a potential. You have to use the opportunity. So it's not like that, oh, everything is gonna, you know, work out if you don't do anything. No, it's just that you will have an opportunity to do something that will lead to a potentially long-term success. So even though tarot tells you what's coming, you still have to do the work. And it's a gift from usually, you know, the opposite, but like I said, it's offered, but you have to take it. So think about, it's a gift, but you have to take it in order for it to work. So like I said, it's great. And as a tendency where this relationship would go, we have the Page of Cups, which is new beginnings, and like I said, it's messages. And I'm just looking through my notes. Page of Cups over there, Page of Cups over here. Oh, we find the Page of Cups much more quickly. Interesting. So we need this one. I mean, the current will be connected, a studious youth, news, message, application, reflection, meditation. Also these things directed to business. Yeah, okay. This, I mean, if I would have to rely on this little white book, I don't think I would have been able to learn tarot, to be honest. I mean, I understand why you need a teacher for that, for sure. But I'm not bashing the little white book. I'm just saying that if you have this, please seek out other resources, because it can be confusing. At least it is for me. But the Page of Cups, for me, it's the empath card, by the way. Cups are all about emotions, and there are a lot of emotions in this one. But, you know, it's not smooth and calm, because the page is just starting to learn to master its suit, and its suit is the cups, is the emotions. So it can be all over the place. And we have the fish, which is, I think, the sign of abundance. This energy is very expressive, it's optimistic, you know, because we are talking about a relationship. I would say that the tendency of it, where it can lead to right now, is a very happy and optimistic and all over the place, you know, stage, that beginning of a relationship where you just love everything about the other, and but you still don't know how to express yourself. So you might get into fights and stuff because you just say the wrong things at the wrong time. And also the page, this page is also, they can sense the mood around them, and they tend to be very reactive because, you know, they haven't mastered their emotions. So if they get hurt, they just, you know, say something back or just run away and cry their heart out, because pages are, you know, a little bit of crybabies, not in a bad way though, because it's very sensitive. So they can let others in way too freely. They give themselves completely and immediately to others, and of course without waiting for the other person to show the sign to be that interested as they are. So there could be a problem that one of them wants more from the relationship and the other, and then, you know, there's imbalance in their area. But since we have the page of Aces of Pentacles, it means that this is just the beginning stage of the relationship, and they can learn to work through these and have something solid in the later stages, which is very cool. I was not expecting that, but I'm very happy to hear that Harry and Ron would have been happy together, because you know, they, you know, it's a very strong friendship. But yeah, if I would look at this as a friendship reading, the same would still apply. You can just, you know, take out the romantic part if you want to, but we're not doing a reading on their friendship, we're doing on the reading of their romantic relationship. So interestingly, they would have worked much better, or maybe not interestingly, because they much more different in personality, so that could have helped. Okay, so now all is left is to shuffle the 6 cards and come up with a question that connects to love in some way. What should we look at? I don't want to do the obvious one, to look at their relationship as a tree, because I think that would be too much. And I mean, yeah, I mean, in a way that it can be very complicated to read the cards for 3 persons all at once. So let's check what would have happened if, with their friendship, if Hermione and Ron would have broke up, you know, because there was a point when they didn't talk, and Harry was worried that the trio's relationship would have soured if they never made up. So let's see, what if in later life, like after getting married and stuff like that, what if they got a divorce and something like that? How would that affect the 3 of them? Why do I always say 3 instead of 3? Okay, so we have, whoa, the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is gonna be your little project to work on for the next episode. So the question is, what would have happened if these 2 would have broken up? And you know, when they were already adults, and you know, it would have been a serious breakup, not just something like teenagers do. Not diminishing, you know, teenage love, just saying that when you're married and have kids, there's a much more bigger repercussions. So root of the problem, current situation, what they can do, and the tendency. Very, very interesting. So yeah, that's your little homework for next one. Hope you will join in, and please please excuse me for not being able to talk so much very well, and please use the hashtag Harry Potter and the Tarot. I will include it in the description with timestamps and all the jazz, but by the time you're watching this, it's already too late for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and participating, and please share with anyone who you think that would like to practice tarot or like Harry Potter and have a question that they always wanted to get an answer to, and you know, it's a fun way to get answers. But yeah, that's all. Like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and all that jazz. Find me everywhere that I'm posting in the description, and see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.